Hey guys, Patrick and John here from McCann Custom Remodel, and in today's video we're going to show you from start to finish how we transform this into this. Now let's get into it. Hey guys, it's Patrick and John here, and John is the project manager in charge of decks for McCann Custom Remodeling. And you'll notice that this is the beginning of the footage. We don't actually have the demo footage, and that's for a couple of different reasons. It was actually really rainy this year, so it was kind of difficult for us to get the footage of the actual demo where we were taking down the old deck, and it was also just really windy on those days, so the camera kept blowing over and it kind of messed with the footage a little bit. But then we also had to get the concrete pad poured, and we just couldn't really capture that footage very well. So what you see that we're doing here is we've actually got the beginning of the framing set up on the concrete pad. And why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about the framing process for a kind of deck like this, John?
Well, first we set the ledger board, and then we level out from there. And we have the first part of a two-part beam, flush beam. And what we're doing, as you see us move all around back and forth, and that is we're straightening the beam out according to the house, because the house isn't perfectly straight or square. So what we're doing is squaring it up. We get the beam good and straight all the way through, and then we fill in the other spots as we go. And sometimes you'll see us jumping around. That's when we're putting in blocks for the picture frame. This is a picture framed composite deck with decorators. So
awesome. Yeah, it doesn't really look like that much is happening here because you can kind of see that the level of the camera and the angle that it's at. But this is where we're putting all of the different joists that are going to hold the floorboards and keep the deck in place. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. And then we're about to move into the footage where we start to lay the picture frame on the outside. Now, why don't you go ahead and tell the homeowners that are listening out there what exactly a picture frame is and what the benefit of doing of doing it and of having a picture frame is.
Well, as you can see, the picture frame, when we do the outside, is the nice solid clean line. You don't see a lot of cut edges. So what we do is we do not a technical four-sided picture frame, it's more like a three-sided. And since the deck's 33 feet long, it's a double picture frame. And that way it hides all the cuts on the ends of the floorboards. And we like to do the picture frame and hang it out so that the fascia butts up underneath the picture frame rather than being flush with it. That way a lot of dirt and stuff doesn't collect in between that joint.
Just so that the homeowners, because they might not know what a fascia board or a fascia board is, would you mind explaining real quick?
As you see the green board on the outside that's below the picture frame that we ran, that's called a rim joist. And fascia is what's called that covers it up so that you do not see that rim joist anymore.
Right, because this is a composite deck, so you'll see that we're actually this flooring that we're putting down right now, and you'll see the fascia that we're going to put around as like a skirt board that goes around the outside of the deck. That's not wood either. This is actually composite material. Do you want to talk a little bit about the differences between a wooden composite deck and composite material as far as flooring goes?
Sure. I mean, wood you have to treat and seal and stain about every 3 to 5 years, depending on the amount of sun and the weather. With the composite, you get a 25-year guarantee, no fade, no scratches. And if it does fade, it all fades uniformly. The beauty of this is a Decorators Void Series product where you will never see a single screw. So when you walk out and look at the deck, it looks like it's just laying there. You never see any screws, nails, or anything. Plus, Decorators is a higher quality composite flooring. It's more lightweight, it has more polymers in it, so it's much more durable.
Gotcha. And yeah, you can actually see right now. You want to talk a little bit about this fastening system, because you can see like little bits going up that you guys are screwing down, and I'm assuming that those are hidden in some way.
Yes, they're hidden fasteners, and you pop them in. Basically, the floor needs to float, or what they call floating, because it is a plastic component. So when it gets hot, it expands. When it gets cold, it shrinks. So that allows it to stay down solid, so it doesn't move when you walk. But yet, when it gets hotter, it allows it to expand. When it gets colder, it allows it to shrink. They're a hidden fastener system that is probably top of the line as far as decorators go. It's pretty easy. It's a plastic clip that clips over the floor joist. It has a screw set in the center. You slide it into the grooves of the flooring, and then you screw it down, and it keeps it nice and solid.
Gotcha. And a lot of homeowners like that sort of look where you can't see the screws, because that's one downside to, I mean, there's many benefits to having wood decks, and there's many benefits to having composite material decks, right? But one of the benefits to having the composite material is you don't ever have to worry about splinters, and you don't ever have to worry about a nail or a screw coming loose and snagging your foot on it and getting injured. So when you have composite materials for your flooring and and it's got one of the hidden fastener systems, you don't see any screws, you don't see any nails, and it just stays good for a really long time, and you very rarely have to do any maintenance with composite materials.
It's a 25-year guarantee. What we've done here is we've set the post for an aluminum railing. This happens to be the Key Link American Series, which is a very sturdy, nice, beefy black aluminum railing. It went very well with this floor. You set the post that has a 4 leveling system in the base of it, and it's very solid, and it's a beautiful look.
Gotcha. Because a lot of homeowners, some of them think that they prefer to go with a composite, like if they're going to have a composite flooring, they assume that they need to have composite rails, but that's not necessarily the case. Most of the time, what we've seen in the past couple of years is that homeowners actually prefer to go with an aluminum railing system, kind of like what you see here, rather than going with the composite railing systems. Now, John, do you want to talk a little bit about why we try to recommend that homeowners who are going to go with a composite deck, that they, instead of going with composite railing systems, they prefer to go with one of the aluminum systems?
Sure, I can do that, but what you just saw recently was that's the fascia board that we just installed, and you won't see the screws on that either because it all gets filled with plugs. But the aluminum railing system is a much sturdier, lasts a lot longer. I think it's a cleaner look, a much better look. The composite isn't quite as sturdy, and is price-wise, for the few dollars more you pay for aluminum, it's a much better product. What you're seeing us now is making the stairs. We're setting the stringers in that. With composite flooring, you have to have stringers, which actually make the stair treads and the risers. You have to have them every foot. So what we're doing now is constructing the stairs to go up to the deck.
Gotcha. And so these sets of stairs, this deck only had one set of stairs. Do you know what actually determines whether or not you need railings on your deck or on your stairs as they're going up to the actual level of the floor?
Anything over 19 inches above grade has to have a railing system. And obviously this is much higher than 19 inches. Mm-hmm. And with this stair system that we're making now, you're going to get the fascia board that you saw us install earlier along the side, and the railing will sit on top of the stairs. But when you get to the back of the stairs, it won't pass code if a 6-inch orb can fit through, which is why we run the fascia, which closes that off. And what you're seeing us now is we've set all the treads and risers, and we put the post up. And you'll notice as we set the rails how much higher the posts sit than the normal ones. That's because the railing system only comes in 38-inch posts or 48-inch posts. And when you go down on an angle on the stairs, the 38-inch posts won't work. So you have to use the 42, and then we eventually cut them off to make them look exactly the same height as far as the visual from the top of the rail to the cap.
Gotcha. And when you cut them off, isn't there going to be a cut mark there, or is there something that you can
No,
put
the
on
cap
top?
completely covers that.
Okay, so there's a cap that you put on there that really helps to cover it up and make the look final. That way you don't see any cut edges. As you can see here, with the fascia board and the picture frame going around it, there's no cut edges that you can see on the deck, and it's just a really nice, clean look.
Correct.
So we really loved putting this deck together for the homeowners. They were super nice, super wonderful, and we honestly just really loved building this deck. It turned out absolutely fabulous, and we just cannot wait to build more of these decks going into the summer of 2021. And if you want to see more pictures from this project, make sure to click the link in the description to take you to the full album on our Facebook page. Or if you're in the Cincinnati, Ohio area and you're looking to have your home remodeled, our contact info is listed below. So thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more remodeling content.